Today marks 1400, 1400 days that I come in here to share my lessons I learned and continue to learn with you. My hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. This 1400, that's insane, 1400 days. And it's interesting when I think about this day, I thought, like, what kind of lesson could it do? Such a meaningful milestone, 1400. And I was thinking that every single person has a choice. Every single person choose to do things. And today I was thinking about that I would love to speak about people say I have to, but I think that when we say that I have to, we give away our power. So what we supposed to say instead? We're supposed to say I choose to. That means I don't have to show up here and share my lessons. I choose to show up here and do the lessons. And I think that in every single area of our life, we need to really choose that. Choose even so something that we do not want to do, be able to say like rather than I have to, I choose to, because that attitude of I choose to changes everything. And today we'll share multiple things, but be able to really understand on the mindset about I have to and the mindset of I choose to. So when you say that I have to, what that implies? It implies that there is obligation or lack of choice. I think that when you believe that you have a lack of choice, that is almost a victim mentality. Victim mentality is saying like I choose to do that because that's what needs to be done right now. And I choose to change that. It might be not change overnight, but it will be changed over the month, a year, couple years. Because I really choose to really change your life. You know, ask questions how long it will take, because the only question is how it will be changed. And I think every single person is able to choose it. So when we say that I have to, a lot of times we basically have a what we say says that external things is making me do it. When I say I choose to, this is internal. This I internally choose to do that. So there's no pressure, there is no external pressure, there's totally internal pressure. And that pressure is internal alignment. So there's values, beliefs, aspirations, commitments, visions, and that's of course how you choose to do the right thing. And I think that's when we think about emotions, what that statement really carries. When I think about have to, that is resistance, stress, resentment. When I think about I choose to, this is freedom, empowerment, a purpose. Because we're able to say have exactly the same statement and we're able to really choose to say differently. I have to go to work, or I choose to go to work. I have to go to work, that means it's external pressure that made it you hate the work. And then you say that I choose to go to work because I know that this is just a stepping stone towards a bigger vision for myself. So choosing is it's already implies there is a vision, a mission, a purpose behind that work. And sometimes the smallest thing that's just going to work is just to really build a foundation that you can really step on something, making some kind of income while you're building something huge for yourself. Because if you have to go to work, and sometimes you forget that there's a lot of hours besides work hours that we're able to allocate in something more meaningful. Now, it might be that if you work and you choose to go to work, it might be that it will take longer to get where you wanted to go. But if you don't take work and if you don't make income, sometimes it will take away altogether from the things that you want to work for. So today we'll really share a couple of things that I need to really that I think that every single person needs to understand about that choice. So number one is you always have a choice. You always have a choice. I think that we're not supposed to ever make ourselves believe that we have to do something. And there are sometimes we able to like I choose to that and for what reason. I think that when we allow ourselves to believe that there is something that we have to do, we start to really live a life of losing control, losing ownership, because I choose it. That is full ownership. I love. I was listening to one of the motivation. I forgot which motivation video it was, but he said that it's never your fault It's never your fault that you really mistreated me. It's never your fault. It's my fault. It's my fault because I know that if I give you that responsibility, that ownership, that this is your fault, that means that I'm giving my power. I'm thinking that when we're able to say that this is my fault, I choose to take on responsibility. I choose to take ownership. At that moment, understand this is your choice to really get better. Because if you say that it's their fault, that means sometimes we will expect it, other person will try to fix it, and that's not the case. Number two is language shapes reality. That means that when we have saying that I have to, that means that is resistance, resentment, and resentment. I choose to freedom and empowerment. So it means that when you think about in what way do you want to live life? Do you want to live in negativity or do you want to live in positivity? You want to live in a low energy environment, or do you want to live in high energy environments? And sometimes it's just the way how we think, the way how we speak to ourselves will dictate, do you live from resentment or do you live from freedom and empowerment? And just by changing the way how we communicate will allow us to really move from negative outlook to positive outlook. And such a thing, massive thing, because I know that I am guilty of that. I have mentioned that, I have said that I have to go to work. And I really chose to go to work. And I think that I have listened to a couple of good seminars, and one of the best things that I heard recently is that everything what you do is a choice. Everything what you do is a choice. Everything. Sometimes we just say there's no choice. No, it's a choice. So it means that you potentially, of course, there is, if you don't do what you said that I have to do, if you don't do that, that potentially will be something terrible happens. But again, this is your choice. Which one do you want more? Do you want this one or this one? And sometimes we choose between two wrong things, and we choose between two wrong things, and we say like, oh, I have to do this. Number three is values give power to choose. I think that um, I choose to wake up early because I value discipline. I value clarity. That means that sometimes I have to wake up early, and sometimes that I choose to wake up early, and it's a huge difference. I think that when you say that I choose to wake up early, now you really tap into your values. It's so much easier to really wake up when you say that I choose to wake up and I have to, because now you don't look into what kind of values do you live by. I choose to pay bills because I value stability and peace of mind. And again, this is what the work wins. Like I have to go to work, but I choose to go to work because I value stability. I want to make sure that I have stable life. And again, this is how we change our language. Number four is identity is built through choice. And again, this is how we really communicate to ourselves. Such an interesting thing. I choose to really live intentionally. I think that sometimes when we think about our identity, is that so like I have to go to work, or I choose to go to work, or I choose to be this kind of person. I think that's when we really choose, right, things. We start to see that okay, we own our life, and when we own our life, our identity is shaped differently, and our identity changes our behavior. So the more we choose things, the more ownership we take, the more our identity is benefited because of that, because that brings long-term actions. So freedom comes from responsibility, and responsibility is from choosing to do the things that need to be done. And I think that one of my dad's best lesson that I learned from him was that when you really look into the things that needs to be done, and you ask one question, is this must be done? And if it must be done, that means you don't question it. You don't ask, should I choose it to do it? Will I have to do it? Do I need to do it? When do I need to do it? No, there's one question is that, is this must be done? If this must be done, just go and do it right away and forget about it. Don't torture yourself, because I think that that's again one of the things that people do is by analyzing the things that they need to do anyway, they torture themselves. And avoidance is a slavery to comfort. So I hope that you reflect as well, because this is a very powerful lesson. I think that I didn't do a great job explaining it. I was really thinking about this topic just recently, and I think that is a very important topic to really understand even deeper level. So when you say that the same task that you need to do, you're able to really say, I have to do this task, or I choose to just do this task. And as I said, when I choose to do this task, that's uplifting, empowering, encouraging, gives me courage, gives me better values, allows me to live in balance, in alignment. And I say, I have to, then I try, it takes the energy away. And it makes our life much more difficult. And we're not supposed to be that way. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.